I wanted to do something that was going to help me get better at the game, and I need some sort of way to keep track of my progress. So I thought making some videos could be a great way to do that. I'm just going to start up a brand new account here at 3dawn on Fox. We're going to rank it up, see how high we can go, and then see in what ways we can improve after that. Maybe we'll be doing something in between that time as well, but for now, it's just going to be ranking up, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Off to the side, you can see that I have a couple lines written, take my time, take your time, right? Consider your options and read. This is going to be especially challenging at the lower ranks because it's easy to fall into the trap of just following along with what your opponent is doing, getting into their game pacing. And so that is what I'm going to try my best to focus on during at least the 3dawn games. And maybe I'll add to that later. But for now, that is my main focus, taking my time. We'll see if I can do it or not.
Start to play.
We have a game here. We are white. Let's see if they will play us. We're a brand new account, so they may not. All right, they are going to play. I'm going to play my opening that I like the most as white here. They're not going to let me do it exactly, but this also is going with my plan. I want to basically do the same thing anyway. I'm doing these opposing 3-4 points, and we just move on from there. I don't really want them to press me down here. So I will do the diagonal because my plan is to then approach my opponent. We will see if they do that. They're going to approach high now. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep it very simple and do the attach underneath here. I don't want to think too much in the opening. I don't want to waste too much time here at all. Just Joseki should be fairly quick. And then move on from there, basically. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing that he did. I'm going to approach this high, and if he attaches, we'll play the same Joseki. Interesting. I should probably consider my options here a little bit. I want to just attach, but this is going to be a weird Joseki, which gets me the left side, which I may not want. So I think potentially doing an old school Joseki where we do this diagonal move could be a good option, or we just jump here. But I think this old school move could be a good choice right now. The idea is that we're threatening to come over the top of this other stone, and we are now able to attach in the corner as well to get a little bit of strength. All right, we'll just pull back here. They're being a little bit greedy. This is leaving some options for invasions later. But I'm not going to be too greedy myself. I'm just going to come over the top of my opponent here. This is the standard Joseki move. I often find it's best to do that. And here you can push and turn. This feels very slow, but it is absolutely normal. They defended on that side, which is not normal. So they can connect underneath if they really want to. I can also block that connection and force them to run. Though I kind of want to play the outside move first, and then if they go to push up, then we block the connection while also making some eye shape. So I'm going to do that. We're blocking any potential connection here. Diagonal over the top here is a little bit of a bad shape. So I will respond one time. This is still threatening to come over the top of my opponent's stones. And then I'm still going to Atari here. And because they did this weird diagonal, I will also peep before I play the last move. If I'm able to cut, that would be really nice. So we'll peep first. And then I will play this last move here, which is making my group almost alive and preventing their connection. And we are very, very strong here. So we actually do not need to worry about this turn. So we need to consider where we might be the weakest right now. He can't really surround me on the other side with one move. And it depends on if I want to attack this or not. He has one eye. So I think the better option could be to attack this single stone This is what I'm going to try. I'm going to attack the single stone. And then we'll see if we can get anything out of that. Going this way. All right. We'll push up the standard shape. And then you turn after that to give them an awkward positioning here. That's a bad move because I can still play another move to threaten that connection. This move I really do want to play because it's coming from the outside, which is where I'm going to be splitting these groups. And the best idea is often to just split them right away here. So I should think about how I should do this properly. If I cap one, it won't be able to connect. Maybe. Seems like my shape is also somewhat bad here. So it feels like maybe coming back could be a good option for splitting. Since it seems a little bit hard to split perfectly, I think I want to make sure they're running towards each other instead. Okay. Now there are cutting points here, and we can do something about that. And our shape here should be strong enough. If he plays here, we can attach, and we can at least break through to make sure we are good. Yeah. We should be fine if they jump down, no matter which way they do it. So we are going to take our base on the right side here. And then we can go back and threaten these cutting points again. Oh, kick is really nice for me, making my group very strong. They are going to answer. Okay. If he invades over here, I think we can cover it up. If he invades closer, it's a lot harder to cover up. So it would be nice to play another move, but I think we can maybe try to cut the shape here. So I think I want to should I cut directly? It seems like my shape is slightly bad.
8.
So I'm going to peep at the shape here because he's still a weak group overall. Like still, the whole thing is not necessarily alive. So peeping at the shape is going to make it a little bit harder for him to live still. And we're still okay here, I think. Now we're still okay here. So we will be jumping around to surround this group to some extent. This is making it much harder for them to invade now. But I did make sure that I was still connected as best I could. That's the hardest part. So the point is, I want to push them this direction so that when I jump out, I'll then be able to invade in a more severe way. They want to just try to live in the corner, so I'm going to attach here. I should have thought about that a little bit more, but the idea is that we're going to, we're going to be very strong here. Okay, now they're coming in, so we can do this attachment. If it works the way I think it does, we should be fine. Okay, we are fine. They're just going for life here, which is probably a good idea, honestly. Now he's going to attack my group, which seems like too much. So it seems like I can at least connect under for now. Usually keeping your groups connected is good, and then he has to still run away. If he really tries to cut me, it's going to turn into a fight that's going to be hard for him, I think. Yeah. So I do this one, then he can push and cut, but then that's just a hard fight for him to play. He's not actually alive here yet. He's just somewhat alive. Okay. We don't necessarily have to continue here, because if they cut, we're still in a live group on one side. So we just have to worry about the group on the other side here. So I think my goal right now is just to surround this group. It should basically be alive, but surrounding will make my group strong and my other group connected out a little bit. That way it's harder for them to cut me. That doesn't really do anything. If he does a double Hane, it also does not do anything.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
So let me see if there's a way for me to kill.
1.
So he has half an eye over here.
2
He has
Yo-Yomis left.
potentially one eye here and potentially one eye here. Can this be any more than just one eye? It could be. So if I play here, they then need to play over here and make sure this is an eye, which I think is possible for them.
9, 8, 7.
If that's
6,
possible,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
then I want to go over to the left side to invade now, since there's a lot of Aji over there.
Yo-Yomi now starts.
Oh, okay. So we do have this here, which is very annoying. We should see how they respond to this move first before we do anything else over here. I'll try to use my opponent's Aji, because I often don't do that. So we want to try to do as best we
9,
can.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 Yo-Yomis left.
They are doing it this way. So I think we can extend now. Which is threatening to push and come out, which would be really happy for us. So now we can push, which was what I was threatening. And they are just letting me come all the way out over here. This is usually a very, very bad idea. So I should be in a fairly good position at this point. If I connect solidly, I don't feel like I have a good follow-up. If I do this tiger's mouth, I'm at least threatening the Hane at the head of 2 stones.
9.
So I'm going to do that one. Okay. This means I believe I can also double Hane, because they have a little bit of Aji in their area. And I'm going to just connect, because now everything in the center is very strong. And because I didn't play any Atari over here yet, I'll be able to Atari at the star point to make my solid eye. Yeah. Any reason to do this still? Maybe. Probably leave it for now, though. This feels a little bit far, so let me read if I can cut. So if I attach here, and then Hane.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to actually try to cut this off and see what happens. Because he has another weak group here. So just be very, very careful with how he does this. So we just Hane here. Extend, and then this is not a ladder. Yep. So he has to be alive with one side, and then we have at least these 2 stones we can maybe surround. Does not want me to do that. So I will threaten to surround those 3 stones. Yep, just one more move here, and we're basically surrounding them. So I'm going to, if I do this one, there's an attachment that's a bit annoying. So I will just jump for now, because that seems like the strongest way to get my group out. And then we should be able to do this knight's move to surround my opponent. And my group should be strong enough. I think the wedge should be fine. Like everything here should be okay. Yeah, we just need to make sure we're connected. And remember, they do have this head of 2 and 3 stones shape, so they do have to be very, very careful with this. Yep, I will connect. Some of these moves are very obvious that I have to play. This one, I do believe I want to jump here. If I jump, pushes down, pushes over, we block. He cuts,
9,
we should be able to kill.
8, 7,
If he just pushes and
6,
cuts,
5,
should be able to
4,
Atari.
3, 2,
This looks like it's probably okay. Yep. We block here.
Nine.
All right, now he's jumping out to save this group. We want to try to maintain our connection between our groups fairly well. So I feel like the best way to do that is potentially just another knight's move here. He has to cut over here and cut over here in order to do anything, so I will just do this other knight's move, and we should be all connected everywhere. So this looks good. Yep, I am fine with connecting here. Make sure they can't push through and hurt my shape.
Eight, 7, 6.
Do I want to block or back off? Looks like I should just be able to block, because if they cut, I can just capture the stone. So yep, I will just block. I'm not looking for ways to make sure this group is dead. I'm just checking my own shape first. If they end up dying, that's okay. I will connect, because otherwise I don't want that to be an Atari. And this is threatening his group enough that I think pushing through is probably fine. If they do this connection, we just need to come back and defend. So are they alive at all?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think it's best if I just go back and protect this connection for now. Thought I had one Byoyomi there for a second, but I did not. I had more than that. Okay. So now they are threatening to be alive. I think we can just turn in here. If they play here, we just push. If they play here, we just play the Atari. So push here, and then that is basically just dead. If they get this move, it feels like it's closer to living. So I'm going to push here first. Seems a little hard to make two eyes here. That's why I decided not to push in, because if they block with the tiger's mouth, it seems a little bit annoying. And now this is basically just a bulky 5. So we can just throw in at the bulky 5 spot here. Yep. Connect solidly. They wedge. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I guess it's better just to connect with the tiger's mouth. So that way the wedge doesn't do anything. We protect both cuts, and then I only have to worry about this one.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, we can just block. This is something we read earlier. If we block and he Ataris and we connect, then he goes out in some way, then we can just capture the stones because he only has 3 liberties. They went offline. Okay. Let's get my fox points. And okay, he's back. He's back. Okay. We will just connect. And now he has 3 liberties on this group, and not if there's another group. And this is not the Crane's Nest SG. If he does this wedge, we block. He cannot play here. So we just capture these 3 stones over here. Or 4 stones, I guess.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Okay, he resigned. I think I did overall okay at taking my time a little bit. But let's look over the game and see if we could have done better at any point. So the point here is we're just going to work through the game a little bit at a time. I'm not going to spend too much because I don't think you necessarily need to get something out of every game, like something very detailed. But I want to look to see if there was a time where I felt like I could have done something better, something more like maybe more active, or I could have backed off in a different way, or could have done something different here. So this one, the standard option didn't look very good, so I did like this idea anyway. It doesn't look like I'm getting that much, but it actually is not too bad. Usually black just gives this part up and they move on. So him playing something here felt like I should just take this away. So I maybe play a little bit. No, I don't need to play any closer. I think this is still fine. Because especially after that push, I feel very strong. And then was this actually a good idea? Am I actually alive after this? So if black plays here, I don't have this eye, but I can then run away. And I maybe have... I'm very close to alive, if not alive. But maybe I think instead of blocking right now, I don't mind running first. Because I think what black probably should have done is they probably should have been running towards the center first. And then I would be running as well. And then I'm not ahead of my opponent very well. So I think I want to try to stay ahead of my opponent because you can see that I'm kind of behind them right now on both sides. So So maybe instead of blocking here where they can potentially connect, I want to jump up here first. Then if they jump, I can maybe even jump again, or we can move on to the next side of the board. But I feel a lot more comfortable with this group now. And then if I have a chance later, I can always come back here to kill the group if I have a chance. So if we do the same thing as in the game, I did this. If it's similar here, there's still a little bit of Aji for cutting. But if I cut, I have to come back eventually. So it's actually hard for me to tell if it's which one's better. But I think from a more standard, basic idea, this is maybe the better move to come out towards the center first. Because at the very least, I'm able to now come into the left side more easily. But if I have them jump first and then I jump, then they can probably just defend. They don't necessarily have to listen to me here. I think jumping first might have been a good idea. Did I make any obvious mistake here? Because like one thing I didn't want to do is if I play towards the other side first, let's just do a basic base. They could maybe come over the top of my group. And if they come over the top here, we'll just have them push. Then you see they're getting stronger. Like let's just do this here. If they're getting a lot stronger like this and they're able to turn this area into something that's worthwhile, then I feel a little bit bad about that. So I do think jumping out was the right idea, because I do need at least one more move. And then, yeah, I think this was all the right idea. Taking the corner could have been nice, but I do think controlling the center in the case of this fight is important. This is something I'm not sure of. Should I have tried to attack this group? If I attack this way, they jump, and it's kind of hard to actually surround it. Let me do that one. Kind of hard to actually surround anything. So I think if I'm not surrounding with one move like this, then I want to just connect. Because, yeah, even here they have a way to be very annoying. So, yeah. I do think the connect was fine, because I don't have to worry about them cutting through, because I'm going to be attacking them first. Okay. Yeah, I do think they're alive enough that I have to just Tanuki here. I think this was a good, very, very good result for me. If they did just connect my Atari and do this one, I think the corner is just dead. That was what I was reading. Hane and connect. Because they can do this to not kill me. So I have to do it differently. So I'm not dead here. And then the corner is a little bit hard to live with. But then I also have Aji on the outside here. Like, I'd probably just push through. There's anything else here. Of course, like this Hane, we do have to Atari. And this is not a Ko. If they just connect, that doesn't feel right. And I probably do just kill them here. And then there's still this cut here. So if they have to protect that cutting point, so maybe I can do it this way, and then Hane and connect. I think I'm alive after that. So if this is alive and the corner is dead, this feels extremely good for me. Is there anything else that my opponent could do? They definitely can't just give this up. Like, that may be better to kill these stones, but there's still some Aji here. But even if I don't get that, I'm happy enough to take the corner. I think this is good enough anyway. Okay. And so the only other thing I would want to check Yes, a different way to do this. Was the cut the right choice? So I think I don't even have to cut. I don't really have to do anything here. This could be a good time to connect now, force them to make some bad exchanges to go try to live. Like this, right? Where they're making me stronger. But is there any way for me to even get rid of the other eye? Because I think they could even just do it this way. Yeah, okay. So I think a cut was not a bad idea. I could try to attack it as a whole, though. Something I wasn't sure about if I should attack the whole thing. But I'm not sure what I'm getting as profit. So yeah, I do agree. Okay, I think the cut was good. Now let's look at the cut on the other side here. There's no ladder this way either. But the thing I was worried about, I think, was this side. Mihane. We could just directly cut, I guess. But if it's like this, there is a possibility of getting cut off. I think it's probably nothing that matters too much, but I think this does look a little bit more needed. Okay, so I think I did do that right. All right, so cool. I don't think there was any obvious mistake, so I'm pretty happy with this game overall. It looks like I read it out properly, and we're good to go. A good starting point. So I'm just going to keep making videos, like maybe fairly frequently, so I can rank this account up, and we'll see how we go from there. Anyway, have a good day, everyone.